Yes, it's morning again, and I'm making breakfast this time. And I'm going to do a breakfast that I would do to take to work, or if you're at home working, you can still make this. And if you're not ready to eat it straight away, put it in the fridge and pull it out when you need to pull it out. So the breakfast I'm making this morning is Keda. So Keda stands for 4 ingredients. The first one is coconut, this one. The second one is almond. The third is date, D for date, and the fourth is apple. But I change it and mix it around all the time. So that's the basics. So that all started with a friend of mine whose name was Fleur, who said to me, I've made the best breakfast in the Thermomix. And we always used to call it Fleur's breakfast. And then we could never remember the ingredients. What were those 4 ingredients again? I don't know why we couldn't remember it. So Kim Morrison, my girlfriend, came up with C-A-D-A, Keda. And then I took it to England and to Thermomix and showed them what it was all about. So between 3 very close friends, we came up with Keda. So if you ever see Keda anywhere around the world, that was the result of Fleur, Kim, and Cindy having fun with it. All right, so, but like I said, I mix it up. So I love ginger in it. So I either use the ginger powder, the Changing Habits ginger powder, or if I have some fresh ginger and it's in season, I will crush it up in the Thermomix. Then what I do is I add 1 apple that I've quartered and 4 dates for myself. So this is for 1 person. If you don't like it that sweet, go 3 dates. Now let me tell you about my dates. So do you know that many of our date farms, in order to hand pollinate, they add flour to the pollen and put it on the tree. And so often there can be contamination with wheat. So if you're celiac or non-gluten sensitivity, have a wheat allergy, and you're wondering why you can't eat dates, that's the reason. So Changing Habits, we found a date that they don't, at a farm that doesn't do that. And they don't use an excipient or anything like that to help pollinate those dates. They just use the pollen. So you can be assured that you have an organic, non-contaminated date. So I put 4 dates in for me. Now, I don't always have almonds. Sometimes I have hazelnuts, and other times I have my Inky Inchy seeds. And remembering that the Inky Inchy seed is very high in an available amino acid or protein to you. So I put them in, and I'm going to put the almonds in today. So let's just make it that that's what I do. All right, and depending on how much coconut you like, will depend on how much you put in. I don't like a lot in there, but like that's probably 1/4 cup. So I then put that in the Thermomix. Now I'm gonna go away, and all I'm gonna do is pulse it for 1.5 seconds. That's it. And you watch what happens. Okay, so I'm back, and I have pulsed the Keda for 1.5 seconds. Right. I just put that into a container that I'm going to take to work. I just put the whole lot in because that's just for 1. And if you have a family, then you just double the recipe. But I wouldn't double, like you'll find that if you keep going on and on with the recipe that it won't pulse as well. So if you have a large family, you may have to do this a couple of times. So I put that in. Now I use I'll either eat dairy or a coconut-based yogurt. So I use the Cultured Wellness coconut yogurt, which is what this one is. So I'll just put some yogurt on it. I might add some more fruit. So I've got some, over here, I've got passion fruit that's in season at the moment. So I might add some passion fruit. This is a little bit crinkly, but it's pomegranate. I might squeeze a bit of lime on it. It just depends what I have in season and what I've got available. I went out and picked my mint leaf, and I'll put that on top, and there's your breakfast. It's not hard. It's really, really easy. And then because I'm going to take it to work, I put the lid on it, and it is ready to go. And it goes into a cold bag, a bag where I put an ice block into, and basically everything stays cool. If I've got a fridge at work, I can put it in the fridge. But if you're staying home, then just put it in the fridge like that. When you're ready to eat your breakfast, then you can go into the fridge, and that's what you're eating for breakfast. The other thing that I do always add to my breakfast is this. And especially in times of where we are right now, I put in my peak performance. So in the Peak Performance is Camu Camu, high in vitamin C. Have my green powder mix, which has also got stevia. Now, that stevia is green stevia. So I've got the herb, I've dried it, that's it. So it's high in protein, it's got all of its other beautiful nutrients with it. It's not just the sweetening agent. We also have broccoli sprout powder in there. We've got barley green in there. I've put a probiotic mix in there. So it's not something that I've made in a laboratory. I've just fermented foods, dried them and put them in there. And the last thing that's in there are some beautiful herbs that help with inflammation. There are no extracts, there's no flavors, there's no colors, there's none of that crap that I see in all of these green powders out there. I'm a stickler when it comes to ingredients, and we have created the best green powder, which has actually got more than greens in it, that we could possibly make. And it's something that I take every single morning. I add to that my colloidal minerals. So this is an organic colloidal minerals, and I'm not going to go through what they're about, but they're basically, number one, they give you the minerals that you need, but number two, they have the language of the bacteria that broke down the plants that we extract it from. Long story, but we can talk about that another time. So I get my orange, and we're getting into winter. All my citrus is coming in. You can buy citrus really reasonably in the fruit stores or markets, or find somebody that's got an orange tree and say, "Kay, can I come and pick some oranges? You don't seem to be picking them." You could become a forager, who knows? So I squeeze it, and then I add a capful of my colloidals, a tablespoon of that, and I usually put it in a jar, because I'm taking it to work, remember, or I'm going to put it in the fridge to have it at mid-morning. So I put it in my jar, put the lid on it, and it's ready to go into my cooler box. That's it. It's not hard. I'll come back with another breakfast. I do so many breakfasts. Sometimes I do omelets. Sometimes I do a really nice piece of toast with peanut butter and honey and banana, because my mum was American. Look, there's lots of alternatives, but I thought I'd do some quick ones for you so that you can put it in the fridge. If you're working from home, it's there for you. Your lunch is there, your breakfast is there, and we'll do some snacks next time. Talk soon. Bye.